conference expansion, and eliminating divisional play have complicated the path to the top in the Power Four conferences. This summer's realignment has increased conference sizes, creating situations where multiple teams may end up tied in December without facing each other in the regular season. This removes the usual head-to-head tiebreaker. Instead, the top two teams might be decided by complex tie-breaking procedures. In the ACC, the leading contenders include Miami, 5-0, SMU, 5-0, Clemson, 5-1, and Pittsburgh, 3-1. If Miami and SMU remain undefeated, they'll likely share the ACC lead, with Miami almost assured a playoff berth. Clemson and Pittsburgh play on November 19th, turning the game into a knockout for the losing team. A three-way tie between Miami, SMU, and Clemson would likely exclude the Tigers, as they lost to Louisville, which Miami and SMU defeated. Though currently fifth, Louisville is essentially out of contention due to losses against Miami and SMU. In the Big 12, BYU leads at 5-0, followed by Iowa State, 4-1, Colorado, 4-1, Kansas State, 4-2, and Texas Tech, 4-2. BYU's win over Kansas State gives them an edge, and they won't face Iowa State or Colorado. If BYU loses once, they could finish first if Colorado loses and Kansas State beats Iowa State. A second-place tie between Colorado and Iowa State would favor the Cyclones, who defeated Kansas State, a familiar opponent ranked higher than any shared by Colorado. The Big Ten has Oregon, 6-0, and Indiana, 6-0, at the top, with Ohio State, 4-1, and Penn State, 4-1, in close pursuit. Oregon's victory over Ohio State gives them room to lose once and still secure a championship spot, as they don't face Indiana or Penn State. For Ohio State and Penn State, the November 23rd matchup against Indiana could decide the second spot. Should Penn State and Indiana end up tied for second with the same loss to Ohio State, their records against conference opponents would be compared. Penn State's current opponents stand at a 22-30 record compared to Indiana's 19-32, although these figures could shift as they both face key games in November. If still tied, the SportSource rankings would step in. In the SEC, 8 teams remain in the hunt, including Georgia, 5-1, Texas A&M, 5-1, Tennessee, 4-1, Texas, 3-1, LSU, 3-1, and Alabama, 3-2. This week's games, Alabama versus LSU and Georgia versus Mississippi, could help clarify the standings. If Georgia and Texas A&M win, they would emerge as the only one-loss teams, simplifying the conference picture. LSU has a strong chance if they win, wildly if Texas beats A&M in the final game. The Longhorns would be eliminated in a potential three-way tie among LSU, Georgia, and Texas due to their loss to Georgia and LSU's superior overall winning percentage. Currently, LSU's opponents have a 23-20 record, while Texas sits at 20-25. The road to the top in these conferences has never been more intricate, with tie-breaking procedures often requiring comparisons of opponent records and even third-party analytics rankings. The final weeks will bring much-needed clarity, but the potential for chaos remains high.